Comcast is expanding its broadband network to more than 1,000 homes and businesses in Ouachita Parish. And to celebrate, they gave an elementary school a big surprise. Kenya Ross reports.
Raise your hand if you want a laptop today. Oh my gosh, I have great news. Surprise! You are all going to get a new laptop today.
That was the sound of Central Elementary School students cheering from excitement about receiving new laptops Thursday morning. Comcast hosted a digital expansion rally at the school to celebrate expanding its broadband network to the area. More than 1,000 homes will have access to faster internet because of this expansion. It's part of a $1.9 million grant from the state's Gumbo program.
Recently saw a national survey that said that 92% of jobs require digital skills that you get in school. But unfortunately, a third of U.S. workers do not have the digital skills that they will need beyond high school, beyond college.
Police juror Larry Bratton says he believes this broadband expansion is going to help keep people in the area as they search for jobs.
Recently saw a national survey that said that 92% of jobs require digital skills that you get in school. But unfortunately, a third of U.S. workers do not have the digital skills that they will need beyond high school, beyond college.
After the celebration, Comcast presented a $10,000 grant to the Calhoun Civic Club to advance digital skills training. In Ouachita Parish, Kenya Ross, KNOE 8 News.